Hello everyone, this is Professor Stark. I just wanted to take just a couple minutes to go over just a brief overview, a condensed video of what a literature synthesis should look like and kind of how it should flow. So you will see on this video, which will be here above this video. So I do want to say this video is very important for you to watch. It is about 31 minutes, as you will see. However, it is very important. A librarian put this together. She goes very in depth to really explain how literature synthesis should work. But I did want to make this video just to kind of condense that just a little bit and kind of give you some more direction for your paper. So please watch this video. In addition, just note here that this video is in the process of being updated. Hopefully it will be updated for fall of 2020. Just know that there is about 7 minutes in, there's a reference to an article that is no longer used, and also to a page number in the 6th edition of the APA manual. Please note that we are now using the 7th edition of APA. So make sure if you do visit OWL Purdue or if you do have an APA manual, you are looking at the 7th edition resources that for you. So just keep that in mind with that, and then just know that there are some minor differences with the in-text citations. Also, that you'll note here that has to do with the paper, the library module. You will see that here. This will help you just get acquainted with the library, how to look up research and articles in their databases, etc. We use SafeAssign here. It will be, when you upload your video, it will be submitted through the SafeAssign database that looks for plagiarism. Please do not plagiarize. You have all taken the Indiana plagiarism tutorial as well. Plagiarism is taken very seriously in our department and will not be tolerated. If you look in this folder, PDFs of the articles that you need, these are the 2 articles that you must use in your paper, and you will be finding a 3rd article. So make sure you use these 2 and you'll be finding a 3rd. Excuse me, here's some more APA resources for your professional paper. There is a lot in here. This is a PowerPoint about APA 7. This is a checklist for APA 7. Here's how to cite APA resources. Again, you're using the 7th edition as a template for Word documents for your paper you can use. And then there's another resource for you down here, just how to format how to use Microsoft Word, how to format it for APA 7. Okay, and then lastly, there's the grading rubric for your paper, and then this is where you'll be submitting your paper to this Dropbox. Okay, so going over to the just a brief literature synthesis overview. So your paper is going to be about the benefits of a BSN. So you're going to be taking those 2 provided articles as well as a 3rd one that you find on your own, and you're going to be talking about the benefits of a BSN. Now, what is a literature synthesis? So what you're essentially doing is you're going to be taking those 3 articles. You're going to read those 3. You're going to identify similar themes that are found in those articles. And you're going to be talking about those themes and supporting those themes with the articles. This is where we see a lot of students struggle. This is not a research article critique where you would say, Article 1, blah, 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 talks about this. It shows this as benefits of BSN. Article 2 talked about this, and their authors talked about this. Article 3 talked. That is not what a literature synthesis is. What you are doing is you are finding themes in your articles. You will be supporting those themes with the applicable articles. Now, a theme doesn't have to be in all 3 articles. It should be like in more than one, because that shows you that there is well supported. That theme is well supported, but it should be at least kind of in 2, if not all 3. So this is kind of a pretend paper that I use similarly. I like baseball. I kind of find that this makes sense for me. I apologize if it doesn't to you, but I hope this does help. So my topic for this paper, which is similar to kind of what the benefits of a BSN, is why aluminum bats make baseballs fly farther. So that is the topic of my paper. So let's pretend I have 3 articles that I have found, just like you will be doing. Your paper should kind of have an introductory paragraph up here. And at the end of the paragraph, your author can kind of state the themes. That would be something like this. There is evidence that supports using aluminum baseball bats will make baseballs travel further due to their higher density and weight. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's a higher density or lower density, but I'm just making that up, right? So those are the 2 themes that I found in my 3 articles, that when using aluminum bats, baseballs travel further because aluminum has a higher density and there's a weight difference that helps as well. So then I will take my one theme here, and I'll use a level 1 heading, which is in bold and centered. So higher density. So in this paragraph, the author will use as many of the articles as they can to support this theme. The paragraph will talk all about why a higher density baseball bat makes baseballs travel further. Let's pretend I have article 1, 2, and 3. So maybe article 1 talks about higher density, and maybe article 3 talks about higher density. So then I will use article 1 and article 3. I will use citations in here in this paragraph that will support this higher density theme. Likewise, my next theme is about weight. So aluminum bats are lighter. So likewise, in this paragraph, the author will support the theme with as many articles as possible. So here, you could say that aluminum bats are lighter, which, I'm not going to try to talk and type. So aluminum bats are lighter, which allows the baseball player to swing it faster, which then makes the baseballs travel further. And then you would kind of cite that. Remember, you should be citing all over these papers. Remember, you're not using anything that is not yours, you need to be citing. So let's then just say that I would have used articles 1, maybe 1, 2, and 3 will all be used in here. But did you see how this is a synthesis? So here, this article 1 maybe talked about higher density and talked about how aluminum bats are lighter. Article 3 did the same. Now, Article 2 was an outlier. Again, you really want to try to use and have a theme that is supported by at least 2 articles. But you may have a third theme for your literature synthesis too. So again, just replace this kind of with the benefits of a BSN degree, the Bachelor's of Science in Nursing degree, and then you will have, you'll have your theme 1 here, you have your theme 2 here. Remember, and then also you will not be talking like this in this paragraph. The author needs to remember, you need to be writing objectively. Yeah, hold on, I got it backwards. Yes, sorry, writing objectively. I had a mind blank there for a second. Writing objectively. You're not using any I's, we's, me's, anything like that. You'll be writing specifically about these themes and supporting them. So then concerning citations, this is just, again, a quick brief overview of citations. So there's a couple ways to do it, right? So these are kind of matching. So this has to do with one author. So according to Stark, 2019, aluminum bats make the baseballs travel further than wood. So that is one way to do. So that is showing you which article you got it from. And this is if you don't do it this way, according to Stark, if you just want to add it at the end, you would say, it is documented that aluminum makes baseballs travel further than wood, Stark 2019. Now you could use a page number. Page numbers need to be used when you are doing direct quotes. But remember, you should be paraphrasing as much as possible. And this is if there's 2 authors. According to Stark and Smalls, 2019, aluminum makes the baseballs travel further than wood. And then this would be the opposite of that when it goes at the end. It is documented that aluminum makes baseballs travel further than wood, Stark and Smalls. You see how I use the ampersand here? And you spell it out when it's outside. And it's inside the citation, it's with an ampersand. This is if it is a direct quote. So aluminum's density is 3 times higher than wood. Again, I'm not sure if that's true. But then it's Stark, it's the author, the year, and a page number when you use a direct quote. And again, this would be if you use the author outside of that. Stark 2019 states that aluminum's density is 3 times higher than wood, end quote, and then the page number goes at the end. Your references needs to be on its own page. You can do that by going to page break. Sorry. Next page, there it goes. And then this is how it should look. It should be author, comma, first initial, and then ampersand, and then the next author, comma, first initial, period, the year, period. So the article title, so this would be, when you pull up an article, this is at the top, aluminum bats in baseball. Maybe that was one of my articles. Remember, the first one is capitalized, the rest are not, unless if it's after a colon, something like that, a study, or whatever. Your article title, so the journal article title, that is in italics, and then each one is is capitalized except like odds and stuff like that. Then the volume is in italics, the issue is not, page numbers, and then if you have a DOI, it goes there. All right, so make sure, again, this is just a brief overview of a literature synthesis. Please take a look at that other video that's in there. That will go a little bit more in depth, but hopefully this is just a quicker overview of how to do it. Again, remember, it's not an article critique. You're not doing each individual article. It needs to be synthesized into one cohesive document with clearly identified themes in there. Hope that helps. Please reach out to your professor if you have any questions. There's a ton of resources in the course for you with APA. APA is taken very seriously, right? When you have good APA, when it looks professional, makes your just paper look professional and just that much more higher quality. And it's very important for any future work you may do as well. We do really harp on APA in this program, and just for those reasons, right? Makes your paper look more professional, more scholarly, and like that. So please take the time to learn APA here, and then that will just help you out later in this program. Again, please reach out to your professor if you have any questions. Thanks. Hello, everyone. This is